we can change by finding somebody new or going and just going to the gym, like without a purpose, without a plan. What kind of habits should we be putting in place to do this inner work? What did you find really helped? Was it journaling, meditation? Did you find going out and spending time walking in the sun, for example? I know a lot of people find that helpful. What habits did you start doing in these inner works that were so effective?
I mean, probably the first one was meditation. That was the first thing I when I started seeing a counselor who very much was strong in kind of the Buddhism faith. So she was talking about meditation, and I hadn't done any meditation at that particular time, but I knew I needed to because I was about to obviously go into a criminal trial, about all that type of stuff, and be obviously in front of a jury, and I couldn't have gone on with the way I was because I was just I was so anxious and I was just lost at that time. So meditation was the first thing which really changed a lot, and I do remember vividly now, even 4 or 5 years on, even though so much has changed. But I remember, obviously, I had a legal team, and I remember sitting with my legal team a couple of weeks after I'd started meditation, and they just were like, "Wow, you're just a different person." Because I was just a lot more calm, I was a lot more confident, I was a lot more forthright with how I used to say stuff. Whereas I used to go in before and they used to ask me questions, and I was all over the place because I was just in a like rabbit in the headlight, really, because there was so much going on, so much had happened over a certain period of time. I couldn't get it. My brain just couldn't compute what was actually happening or going on. But obviously through meditation, I was able to really quieten everything down and then sit, take deep breaths, and was able to be a lot more coherent. And I was a different person. So I do remember them vividly, like, wow, like you completely changed. So meditation was the first one. And I used to do like 2 to 5 minutes a day. Like I always say to people, if you want to change anything, like obviously your habits change, but you've got to start small, like micro goals. You can't go from no meditation to doing a Joe Dispenza half an hour meditation. Like you're just not, it's just not going to work. You just need to start 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and just keep building on those habits. But journaling, I think, is great. Gratitude, I think, is the biggest one. You've got to, when you wake up in the morning, if you can just be grateful for 2 or 3 things. But again, it's people do understand the gratitude, but the problem with it is that you've got to have brain and heart coherence. That you've got to
Okay.
be working in tandem. A lot of people just think, "Oh, I must do my gratitude because I've been told to do it," and they write a few things in their journal. But it's like a tick box exercise. Like your journal doesn't care about what you're grateful for. You have to feel it. You have to feel, and if it's grateful for the warm bed you're sleeping in, or the cup of coffee you're drinking, or the water, or the running water, but you have to feel that. But gratitude is really great. Journaling is great because you can understand your thoughts. You can, a lot of the times you can write stuff down. It really gets stuff out of your head, and which is a lot easier because then you can analyze it a lot more and go really and sort of say, actually, that makes no sense or that's not true. But when it's in your head, it just spins around and you start adding more and more on top. And more
Would you
most.
feel like you were rising above it? Because I used to think like I couldn't see the mist for the fog or whatever that saying is, like when I was stuck in it. But when I felt like I was doing the inner work, I felt like I was rising above it and seeing like the battle going on, but from the top of the hill or something. Did it feel like you were actually in control of it rather than being reactive? You were being proactive.
Yeah, you can be in a lot more control.